If you've ever felt frustrated in regards to growing your artist email list or newsletter, I have some funny stories as well as some useful tips for you today. I'm going to kick things off with a super embarrassing story. When I first graduated, I was really gung-ho and excited to build my art career, get invited to shows, and of course, sell my art. I hated my day job with a burning passion. At the time, I was working at IHOP and flipping pancakes, and I cried every single day. But I had a few shows that I booked locally in small galleries, nonprofit centers, and even coffee shops. And the result of these shows were actually my first few sales to strangers. I will never forget the day that a random person that I didn't know, that wasn't my family or friend's mom, purchased one of my paintings, and it was probably one of the best days of my life, even though it was under $100. But at that time, I started to notice a lot of talk about email lists. And so I had a MailChimp account and I decided, okay, well, I want to stay in touch with my friends and potential collectors. So I started to build this account. And around this time was also when Kickstarter was getting popular, and there was another platform called USA Artists, which was something similar. And I remember I tried to do a fundraising campaign, which failed miserably. I had one donation from someone that I knew, and then the rest was just crickets and it went nowhere. But one of the valuable things, and this is why it's so important to not beat yourself up over failure, because there's nothing wasted and you learn something from every experience. One of the things that I learned while attempting this crowdfunding campaign back in like 2011 was that email list is really important. And this organization, I don't think they're around anymore either, but they really pushed for you to have a newsletter and update your supporters with, emails and let them know what's going on, the timelines, what you're working on, and asking for funding essentially. And so the embarrassing part is when I started to add all my collectors, the one collector or two that I had on my list, and I started to send them emails and I started to spam them with requests for funding, and one of two unsubscribed. I was devastated and I was so embarrassed because at the time, this man that purchased my painting was so important to me, like he was my only customer, and I felt so humiliated and so annoying and spammy because I emailed him too much. But the truth is, think about how many times you unsubscribe or don't sign up to someone's newsletter. A newsletter is something that is used a lot in the marketing world, but at the end of the day, it's something really personal. It's a direct line to someone's inbox. It's not like social media where you can scroll away if you don't want to look at something. You get letters, emails, announcements, advertisements sent directly to you. And if it's not something that you want 100%, a lot of people will unsubscribe. And so if you're an artist or creative entrepreneur and you've been having trouble growing your email list, I'm going to share some practical tips, but I also want to help you reframe this, especially at the beginning with this embarrassing story. I used to think like, oh my gosh, I need to have as many people on here as possible. I need to have everyone and their mom sign up, but it's not at all like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. It is a place where you get to talk to people directly. The same way you don't give out your phone number to everyone is the same way most people really don't give out their emails to everyone. So if you're having a slower time growing your newsletter, I want to just acknowledge it and know it's frustrating, but I also want to normalize it because it's not the same as social. And so let's go ahead and get started. So we all know to leave a sign-up sheet if you have an art fair or a gallery show or an event, but think about how many times you've actually given out your email address. I know for me, unless I absolutely am in love with someone's work or someone's gallery or business, it's very rare that I'm going to go out of my way to add my email list. Now, there were times where I have done that and they were special and important. So I want to just encourage you to not be super pushy with this, because at the end of the day, who you want on your newsletter are people who really care and who are really interested in your work. Now, of course, linking it on Instagram and sharing it in your stories is great, but I find it more helpful when I have a reason to do so. For example, if I have a new collection of work that I'll be launching and I want people to get on the list and be notified first, when I have an exhibition coming up, when I have a lecture or speech, or some other event, a meet and greet or art fair that I'm participating in. So rather than just sharing it just because, give people a reason why they would want want to be on your newsletter. And I noticed that for artists, in marketing such as business, digital products, even food and hospitality, sending a coupon or a freebie of some sort may work. But for us fine artists, I don't find it necessary. The only time that I do think a freebie is useful is if you're an educator and let's say you are giving a little preview of your process or your favorite supplies. In that case, it might make sense. Now, of course, if you're an artist and you have a collection out, maybe sending a freebie PDF catalog might not be a bad idea. But overall, in terms of general email list growth for an art account, I don't think you need so many bells and whistles. I think people who fall in love with your work are going to want to sign up to your newsletter. So I advise you to keep it simple and not beat yourself up if your email list isn't growing by the thousands. Even after 15 years, mine has around 1,000 on it, and I'm really happy with that list. I don't have a lot of inventory, so there's really not reason for me to have millions of people. Although, if they did sign up, I certainly wouldn't object to it. But I just want to let you know, think about how much you actually have to offer versus how many people you want on that list. Now, once again, if you're an educator or you have a business where you have something scalable, like a digital offer, or you teach workshops, then of course, prioritizing your email list growth can be really, really important. And yes, the more people you have on your list or in your following, the more opportunities you have to meet your ideal client. But I honestly would just focus on quality. I would focus on real connections. I would focus on real people who care about you and your work, especially if I was starting out right now. And for art, it is a luxury good, and most people don't buy art every day or even every week. And so you want to lead with a relationship and a feeling. So for example, think of a favorite artist or even a favorite brand that you like. Think about how they make you feel. What's the vibe? Is it sporty, adventurous, action-taking, or is it really calm, zen, minimalist? Think about that and try to translate that to the experience your customer or your subscriber may get when they sign up to your newsletter. And when it comes to asking people to join your newsletter in person, such as at a show, an event, an art fair, or market, I would approach it really differently. Maybe you're sold out of an item they wanted to buy. And this way you can use this as an opportunity to ask them, hey, is it all right if I add you to my mailing list when this item is back in stock or this type of painting is back in stock? I can let you know because I love to let my subscribers know first dibs or something along those lines. You want to approach this on a case-by-case basis when it comes to in-person. So hooking a part of a conversation, such as asking if they would like to visit your studio and if they would want to know when you're opening doors to your studio, if they want to be invited to an exhibition or talk to you about a commission or something like that. And the other thing I want to say is keep it really simple for people to sign up and join your newsletter throughout the year, not just an event. So for example, these are some of the best ways that I've grown my newsletter. Of course, having a link in my Instagram bio. I also have a pop-up on my website. I use Flowdesk. So I just created a pop-up and it's my collector circle and people can choose to opt in if they want to. I usually link it if I have a YouTube video with my artwork involved in some way. And so make it easy throughout the year, throughout the week for people to join if they want to join. And you will get a trickle. And then if you have an event or a big launch coming up, you can push your newsletter a little bit more by sharing it in your stories, talking about it, and encouraging people to join. But at the end of the day, just remember, email is really intimate and it's not something that you should rush or push to get as many subscribers as possible. Celebrate each person and nurture them and stay in touch with them at least once a month, and I think your email list is going to grow beautifully. I'm cheering for you, and if this was helpful, I'm so excited to share my membership, the Create Collective. We are celebrating 6 years of our community, and we invite you to join us. If you're a professional artist looking for career resources, support, community, and to not do this art life alone, I think you're going to love spending time within our space. You can visit the link in the show notes and join us, or you can join our free Facebook group to get to know the vibe, and we look forward to growing with you. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.